This that Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Let's run down some stocks.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Ian, you ready? You want to run down some stocks?
Yes.
All right, let's start with the big boys. Let's start with the whole index. Let's start with the NASDAQ.
All right, NASDAQ is doing good. I have NASDAQ going up maybe in 2 months, getting to like 12,826. Yes, NASDAQ has been taking a beating, but we should push up to the upside, and NASDAQ will be good.
Yeah, tough day today. Pulled back 2%. But for the year, we're looking pretty positive thus far. All right, that's good. Let's go to Lucid, LCID.
Not going to say dead yet, but we do need to get our affairs in order. Tesla is a dominant place there. Everyone put in chat, Espiritu Santo. It's almost over with. Kudos to the management there. If you're watching, I don't mean that I hate you. The stock is just not a great one to invest in. In 21, it was at $64. It's now at $11.75. No, if you're going to do something in the EV space, you have to lean towards Tesla, or I can argue Ford or GM, but I really don't love either. Tesla is a predominant player there. And what we talked about it the other day, like Lucid hasn't sold that many vehicles.
Yeah, there's a vast difference in the amount of vehicles that have been delivered. When we talk about Tesla, when you see the reports of having over 2 million vehicles put out to the public, and when we look at Lucid, for 2022 they put out nearly 7,500. It's not comparable
insane
at this point. So good to know. And this is one we talked about too. BuzzFeed, they had a incredible day on Friday. They were up 85% on news that they are going to be using, again, ChatGPT to be producing some of their content. So the ticker is BZFD, BuzzFeed.
Basura. I'm catering to the Latin audience tonight. So yeah, it got up to $4.30. It should slide back down to like $1.77. If it breaks the previous low of 64 cents, you can get into it for a swing trade, but I don't know. It was at $14.77 in December. That's too hard of a decline. And let's be honest, like, I get the speculative news, but it feels like they paid for that PR. BuzzFeed has no advantage. So no. Maybe Meta will acquire them. Maybe that's a reach as well, but no.
There are some talks. How about EDBL, Edible Garden AG Incorporated?
Yeah, a few people asked me about this. This one I absolutely hate. Absolutely hate. It was at $90 in April. It's at $8.04. And hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, last month it was at $5.74. So it bounced up a little bit from there. But usually if it's under $10, that's in penny stock territory. I wouldn't touch it. That's dead on arrival. Maybe for a swing trade, if you just have money you want to gamble with, maybe if you want to get it at $3 or something like that, but I wouldn't touch it. This is like penny stock pumping up garbage. No, don't touch it.
Can we throw a wild card? How
Yes.
about Live Nation? They've been in the news, obviously, with Ticketmaster over the past week or so, with their accusations of running a monopoly. People saw what happened with Taylor Swift's ticket fiasco. 14 million people try to buy 2 million tickets. Obviously, they sold out before the majority of the customers can get it. Then they go up for resale on side of Ticketmaster's website. Obviously, they can change the prices for them and make profit on the resale, which they couldn't do had it gone to an off-market site like StubHub or Vivid Seats or one of these other seats where they're not making profit from the resale margin. When it gets sold out on Ticketmaster, and then obviously if you ever bought, that little maroon circle means that somebody's reselling for a different price, which obviously causes monopoly if you don't let the tickets be released and then you just resell them for higher prices. What are your thoughts on Live Nation? One of my companies that I love, I'm not so sure.
During the pandemic.
During the pandemic, because I knew that people would come back to entertainment, and they have. People are, obviously you're seeing shows sell out. We're seeing that more and more. But on the surface, that makes sense. But when you hear situations like this, they're going to be, I think it's in front of Congress very soon to fight this matter. What are your thoughts on Live Nation?
I know the DOJ also was coming after Google about being a monopoly, and I don't think they have a case for that. Live Nation has a better case of being classified as a monopoly. I like the stock. I really do. Full disclaimer, though, I know some people over at Live Nation. That doesn't taint my view, but if you look at the chart year over year, and the pandemic was like at $20. It's at $79 now. In 2021, it got to a high of 127. Sales are strong. I know from a consumer standpoint that being a monopoly is not a good thing for the business. It is. They really don't have much competition. I would say, though, if Live Nation and other companies like that are listening, when you have a stronger hold on the market, if you do right by your customer base will protect you as the fans of Apple did with him. Because for a long time, Apple had a monopoly on the smartphone market. Now that percentage has degraded some over the last few years, and they made up for it in other areas. But if you fix the reseller market, you wouldn't have all of these issues that you're having to go in front of Congress. But they've been on a tear since 2013.
Yeah.
The stock was at $9.36 then. And even through COVID, you'd been up 3x still at when it was like at $27. And now it's at 79. I have it getting back to 122.64. And that is like a lagging indicator as well to know like when the economy is recovering and back on track.
It was one of those ones in the early episodes I used to talk about it. And I'm like, yo, it's going to recover. It's at $42. As soon as people have an opportunity to get back outside, they're going to be doing it. And so to see them run up to, like you said, 123, I was like, oh, yes, I'm looking like a genius.
Yeah. You still holding it?
I am. Only because, I tell people all the time, like, if you want to look at what you should be invested in, look at what you're spending. Yeah. And one of the things I love to do is go to shows. And so, yeah, that makes sense. And when we talk about,
but you don't have as many shares as you should have, right? That's why you said that.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I should have went.
Yeah,
you're right.
You'll learn. But even from the monopoly standpoint, like we said, from the ticket selling standpoint, that makes sense from monopoly. But if you look at a lot of the venues, they own, I think 75 to 80% of the venues,
lion's share,
they own. And so if you ever done an event, or if you ever been to a live event, you know that a lot of times when you look at your ticket, it's coming from Ticketmaster or Live Nation. So yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough out here, especially when you're doing stuff independently and having to deal with them. And if you don't deal with them,
there's no way around it.
I mean, you're going to be paying 30% if you use one of their venues. So
they like Hamdulillah live, sign to the mob, boy. Live Nation not playing. Arm, leg, scalpel. Let's get it all.
Hit the like button. Let's get this bad boy up to 7,000. Market Mondays. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's an abundance of information that's provided on these actual programs. Really think about it from a variety of different standpoints. It's a very broad-ranging show that covers a variety of different topics. Extremely educational and entertaining.
Absolutely.
Simultaneously. Captivating, thought-provoking. It is definitely one of the greatest shows of our generation. I think
absolutely
has transformed the landscape when it comes to business and investing. Commentary. We've had some of the most prolific and well-respected people in the world. So please do not take that lightly.
Because if you do, what happened, Rashad? They're gonna come to Mexico. We can pre-record everything.
Not to be taken.
You don't say it. No, I do know. 22-minute format coming soon in 2024.
Yeah.
Lightning round.
Lightning.
Highest return you can possibly get. Listen, when you go watch CNBC, shout out to everybody at CNBC, Frank, Baldwin, Josh, Mary, I appreciate you, head of talent. But if you even go ask them, put some pressure on what would some of the insights and takes that I've had as well. So yes.
All right, and I got this.
If I made you money, please yes in chat.
Especially for those people who
somebody said I'm not high and I'm not tired. You know what? But it's like even with my monologue situation, I mastered the slow flow, and I realized that you have to talk to people slow because they don't understand it if you talk fast sometimes. So it's actually done on purpose. The delivery, and is
Sean Paul of the stock market?
Huh?
You the Sean Paul of the stock market?
Mace.
Who you picking with? Mace? Beth is?
Mace.
Okay.
When I think of the slow flow, Mace. Nas is also
Yeah.
a slow flow champion. But yeah, sometimes you have to slow things down and deliver it. So when you're practicing your public speaking, because it's one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
So you have to find your delivery. Some people's delivery is to talk very fast. Some people's delivery is to talk loud. Some people's delivery, my delivery is something that I've actually worked on for a long period of time. So I'm not intoxicated.
No.
And I'm not sleepy. But I just want you to hear everything that I'm saying. So
this is the tone of
Someone said
leisure.
you was high?
well,
Oh, so I see it now. Somebody just said you want to shy you have an edible.
yeah. So
No, he's never taken it.
He's high off life.
Never taken an edible
I'm
or
not,
anything remotely close to it.
I'm not intoxicated at all.
I know some people though. Ian,
Shout out to Burner.
shout out to Burner.
Shout out to Gumbo.
Shout out to Gumbo.
He's all
He
over
got
the place right
shout out to Gumbo. His new show's coming out on Hot 97.
now. He has a show?
He got a show coming
Really?
on Hot 97. Yeah, shout out to Gumbo.
Like a everyday show?
I think it's in the evenings.
Every day?
Hey, bro, what
I'm
you
not
doing
sure how
calling
it
me,
is.
man?
Yeah, shout out to Gumbo. But shout out to Burner for putting
Yes.
cookies out in Thailand. Like that is when you talk about global expansion, like if you understand Thailand, if you look at the laws, and I had to read up on it about how the country itself felt about marijuana and prohibiting it, to now obviously having people in Thailand use it, but for him to act upon that as fast as he did,
Success, low speed.
oh my gosh!
Yes.
Burner
The
is a
international
legend,
expansion
man.
is a must.
Burner is a legend.
I'll say this right now for the last time. International expansion is a must until we get through this recession.
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
This that Red Panda Anthem.
Rap Panda,
This
what's
that
good?
Red Panda Anthem.
your
Whole
boy.
clique going up. I know they can't stand it.